Alright guys, welcome to a Black Clover mobile video. Now, if you have been following my channel before, you probably realize I haven't posted any videos on Black Clover for a very long time. Mostly because there's just not much content for me to really talk about. But in today's update, they did add a new event, which is the wanted poster. So I decided, you know what, I'll come back to YouTube and post a guide on this in case anyone is having trouble clearing them. Now, the way wanted poster works is that there are three different versions. There's one way to do a lot of damage. There's one way to kill off 35 enemies, and there's another version which is very similar to this, and I think you need to kill off 32 enemies, I believe. Now, the strategy for the ones where you need to kill off 30 or so enemies, they're the same, and I'll be showing you that later. And the one for hitting 1.8 million damage, that's pretty much just based on how much damage your Black House can do, and I'll be showing you a video clip on when I clear those as well. So basically the way I'm going to do this guide, I'm going to talk through the characters that I'm going to use, and then I'll show you the gameplay so you know exactly what I've done every single step, which attack did I use, etc. I'll also be doing commentary in the gameplay just so you know what are the alternatives, etc. Alright, so having said that, let's go straight into the character so you know who I will be using. Now, let's start off with the one about doing 1.8 million damage. The main one you need is Aster in order to go into black anti-magic, and in order for that to happen, you always need to have Witch Queen to pair up with Aster. Now, you can see my Aster is quite highly built, like pretty decent defense. Skill pages are 4 dupes as well, so that's quite high. But don't worry too much about this. You will see later on in my gameplay, I was doing at least twice the amount of the required damage. I was doing at least 3 million upwards. So even if you do have a weaker Black Arthur with weaker gears or not as many skill page dupes, it should be totally fine as well. So that's basically the first thing you need. You definitely need Aster and Witch Queen. Then in terms of the other candidate you want is you want the SR version of the Charmy, and I'll show you why later on. The main thing you want is the fact that she is able to remove buff. 100% guaranteed removal of buff. Now, if you don't want to bring an SR character for a reason, you can obviously use a different character, for example, Lotus to remove the buff, or you can also use Real to remove buff. All of those are fine. Or the Halloween Noel, they can all remove buff. All of them are fine. And you need that buff removal because basically what happens is the boss is going to put up a protection buff. If that protection is on, I think you only do 60% damage. But if you're able to remove it while it's active, you actually apply at 80% defense reduction. So it's very important for you to have someone who's able to remove buff, that protection buff. The reason why I strongly recommend SR Charmy, it's obviously this is more free to play friendly, this is a SR unit, but also because she's a healer, she can help to get your team to survive. And also the other benefit she have is that she have the chance to perform an extra attack. So if you need to hit the enemy's weakness point down faster, then she's actually going to do very well there as well. Her normal attack can, if you're lucky to proc the extra attack, then that basically counts as 2 hits against the weakness. So that's very helpful as well. Now, in terms of the fourth character that you're gonna bring in that game mode, is gonna be the Party Mimosa. The I'm not even sure this is absolutely essential, but basically the reason why I bought her is because she is able to passively, because I have her at 2 dupes, she's able to give all allies SP +1, and basically what that is going to help you is to allow you to proc um, Black Asta and also Witch Queen's uh, their ultimate the second time. So basically what that means is that you can allow your Black Asta to go into anti-magic twice, and then basically use the special skill on the boss twice for that double amount of damage. So that's the reason why you can probably substitute her out with another character as long as you can somehow make sure you're able to hit twice with your anti-magic. So maybe another healer, because pretty much all the healer have like a combo attack which gives like SP +1 buff. So you can do that. You can probably also bring Charlotte in order to give SP quicker. All of those are good options. I just chose Party Mimosa because she's also another healer, so I can do a bit of passive healing because I didn't bother swapping gears onto my character. So you can see like she's pretty much not geared at all. So that's basically what I've used. But like I said, there are plenty of options as long as you can make sure your Black House and Witch Queen can have enough SP to do their ultimate skill twice. So that's all you need for that game mode. I will show the video clip later so you know exactly what to do. And then for the other game mode, which you are required to kill off the enemy, as many enemy as possible, so like at least 30 plus enemy. Basically what you want is you want a DPS who have loads of AoE attacks, and you're gonna combine that with the red Charlotte with the fact that you're able to apply mark. So the idea here is that if you have an AoE attack, and while and you kill off the 3 enemies when they have their marks on, then that basically gives you 3 additional turns. So that basically means that as long as you apply the marks, you're able to take out like 12 characters because you'll be able to do this 4 times, 4 attacks, each attack taking down 3 enemies. So that's basically what you want. You basically just want a DPS with loads of AoE attacks. I chose Noelle because she obviously have her normal attack, which is AoE. Now, if you don't have Noelle, the other options could be, let's say, Red Yami, who also have normal attack, AoE, or Lotus potentially. Actually, I'm not too sure whether Lotus can do enough damage. But another good option would be the Green Fauna, who also have 2 AoE attacks. With her skill 2 and ultimate skill, and potentially even Mario Neona, because you also have at least a skill 2 and also a combo attack, which is able to do AoE damage. So those are all good options. I personally think Noelle is probably the best because she has a really strong skill 1, which is AoE. Now, you may find yourself not having enough attack to do that, and that's certainly the case for me because, for example, my Noelle is not. I mean, I do have good gears, but it's not completely built up. It's only at 2 dupes, for example. But the way you go around that is you are gonna do something. With the likes of Ghost, Summon Ghost. And the reason why Summon Ghost is really useful is because what I notice is that normally I can kill off the enemy when I have my ultimates or special skill, and because those can also give me buff, I can then kill off the enemy in the next 2 turns when I have that buff available. But as soon as that buff disappears, then I'm not able to one-shot the enemies anymore, and that's normally quite annoying, and that's potentially something you will also run into if you do not have very good gears. But what Ghost is able to do is that his skill 2 give intense sunlight, which is irremovable. So basically it's permanent stack. So basically what that means is that even after your continuous turns of keep on killing enemies, because your red Charlotte applying the mark, you're able to tap multiple times in a row, you're always going to be guaranteed to have buff on you so that your normal attack can also kill off the enemy. So that's basically the reason why I think Summon Ghost is going to be very useful, especially if your gears are not quite good enough like me. And then for the last spot, what I decided to do is I bought Finro. And the role of Finro here is just to speed up your team with the skill 3. And the main thing you want to do here is that you want to speed up your team, so first of all you attack more, but also the most important factor in this mode is the fact that you need your red Charlotte in order to use skill 2 twice. Now, where's my red Charlotte? You need to use this at least twice in the battle so that you're able to apply the marks on all of the enemy. And remember, if you're able to kill off the enemies with all 3 of them have marks, that's essentially equivalent to killing 12 enemies in one go. So you definitely need to do this at least twice. And the fact that you have Finro to speed yourself up allows you to potentially proc this twice guaranteed. The other way you can do it, if you don't want to use Finro for whatever reason, maybe you want to bring another buffer to make sure your DPS have enough support, that's also fine. Then what you need to do is you have to rely on a bit more RNG in those cases, and you actually want to place this one, which have a chance of reducing the skill 2 cooldown. So that's also fine. You can also do it that way, but I prefer something a bit more guaranteed, which is why I chose to use Finro. Okay, so that's enough intro of the characters I have used. I'm going to now show you the actual clips where I have cleared the stages, and I'll be doing my commentary so you know exactly what to do at every single step. Okay, let's start off with the demo for suppressing limit. So that's basically the one way to do 1.8 damage, 1.8 minute damage to the boss. Now, one thing you want to bear in mind is that every single time you may have slightly different effects applied to you. So for example, in the run I'm going to show you, all of the enemy boss weakness point are only going to be blue, so only technique attribute. However, it doesn't really matter because you can see the team I'm using have red, green and blue units, so no matter whatever color that boss weakness point is, you should be able to do inflict it anyway. And also I'll be showing you actually even without inflicting the weakness break on the enemy, you're able to do enough damage anyway if you actually remove the enemy's protection buff. So yeah, this even though this change every single time, it really doesn't matter. So yeah, let me just show you the gameplay that I done. So the first thing you want to do is you want your Blackcaster to be faster than Witch Queen so that you're able to defense up. And that's because when he goes into anti-magic, the more defense he have, the more damage he will do. So you definitely want to buff up yourself on the defense side first with his skill 2. Then when it comes to Witch Queen's turn, you are going to apply special skill to put Blackcaster into anti-magic. Then when it comes to Party Mimosa, you're going to do a combo skill with Witch Queen. And basically that combo skill with Witch Queen does two benefit for you. One, it means that you are doing attack rather than healing, because the worst thing that can happen is that your party mimosa accidentally heals a black archer above anti-magic threshold. So you definitely want to avoid that. So you want her to do a proper attack. So that's why I use combo. And also the combo do charge up SP to her partner. So in this case, Witch Queen, and that allows your Witch Queen to be potentially able to do um, to put Black Arthur into anti-magic again. So that's basically the thing you want to look out for here. Then when it comes to SR Charmy's turn, what you want to do is use the special skill to remove this protection buff on the enemy boss. Basically, when you see this blue icon, if you actually click on it in your gameplay, it will show the description is basically saying that when the boss have that protection status or buff, he's going to take like 60% less damage. But when you actually remove it, you are able to inflict an 80% defense reduction on the enemy as well. So that's why it's very important for you to have Blue Charmy to use the special skill to remove that. Now you can see just that red defense down buff as well. And that's basically setting your Black Arthur perfectly, because now he's in anti-magic, the enemy have the debuff, and you can see what I've done here. I am able to do 1.5 million damage just in the first turn. And that's kind of why I was saying it really doesn't matter what color is the enemy's weakness point, or even if your gears are not as good as mine, because remember, I will be doing this again the second time. So as long as you're able to do at least 900k in your first go of anti-magic, then you're absolutely set. For the remainder of the battle, basically I'm just waiting for the skill SP on my Black Castle to go back up so I can use anti-magic again. Now you can see my Witch Queen already charged up thanks to my Party Mimosa's combo attack, but I'm not gonna proc it now, because if I proc it now, my Black Archer's ultimate's not ready, so it's kind of wasting it. So that's kind of why I'm just gonna keep on waiting till my Black Archer also have his ultimate ready. And then at that point, I'm gonna proc the anti-magic with my Witch Queen, and then Black Arthur can finish off the battle there. Alright, now I'm going to show you the other version of the wanted poster, which is the one you need to kill off at least 35 enemies within the 6 or 7 turns that you are given. Now, there are two versions of this. There's this King Wolf one, and then there's the other one, which I can't remember the name, but the strategy is identical. So basically, you just want to use an AoE attacker and utilize Red Charlotte's marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this one on King Wolf, and I'm going to talk through this step by step. Then for the other one, I'll just show you the clip at the end, but I won't be doing any commentary for it. Okay, so when you first go into the battle, the first thing you want to do is Finro to speed everyone up, and then Charlotte apply the mark. Quite straightforward. And that basically means when also for Ghost to buff up your Noel or your AoE attacker. And this basically means your Noel can get an extra 3 turns because you kill off 3 enemies with the mark sign. And because her skill 1 is also AoE, you're just able to keep on repeating this. So for example, I should have one more turn here. And you can see basically within the first round, I'm already able to kill off 11 enemies. So that's kind of what you need. Now you see in the middle, I did struggle with killing off an enemy, which is blue element. So that's kind of why it's quite important for you to have a buffer. And like I said, Ghost is the best buffer because the buff on him never goes away. So you don't have to worry about, for example, my Noel just attack 4 times in a row. So the buff would have expired by then. You don't have to worry about that if you are using some Ghost. So that's kind of why he's the best choice here. Now, when you have your Finro and Red Charlotte's turn, what you want to do is try to attack if possible and aim for the enemy, which is green element. And that's because when you have elemental advantage over the enemy, you get 1 extra SP when you attack. So that's kind of why it's very important for you to try to aim for the green enemy so that you can get 1 SP back. Now for Red Charlotte, what you can do is to do a combo attack with Finro. Basically, when you have a combo attack with Finro, Finro is going to give extra mobility to his partner, so in this case Red Charlotte, and that's going to be good because it allows your Red Charlotte to move slightly faster, therefore apply the debuff again. Now when it's Ghost's turn, Ghost is either going to buff up your DPS, or what Ghost can also do is a combo attack, and that's why also I feel like Summon Noel is the best character for this game mode because Summon Noel not only have skill 1 and special skill, which are AoE, her combo attack is also AoE. So no matter what you do with your Summon Noel, you're always able to hit all 3 enemies, which is very useful. Uh, Now for Finro, when there isn't a green enemy for you to get that 1 extra SP, it's up to you what to do. I don't think it really matters, but it's your choice anyway. I think I chose to do some chip damage there. For Ghost, it's always buff, and now you can see my Red Charlotte is able to apply the marks again for the second time, which is perfect because now I can use my Red Noel to keep on doing all of those attacks. And yeah, to be honest, I think at this point the game is more or less already wrapped up. Like I have what 2 turns left, and I need to kill 7 more enemies. So actually, it's cutting a bit tight, but it's definitely straightforward because all I need to do here is now for my Noel to take out 3 enemies with the AoE attack. So you can see here, take out 3 enemies. Now I just need to take out the last 3, and I have exactly 1 more turn for me to do that, and that's where my Noel is gonna take it down with her special skill. So yeah, so this is basically how you clear this version. I'm going to show you the gameplay for the other version now, but the strategy is the same. So like I said, I won't be doing any commentary today.